What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to another solo leveling and rise video. All right, guys, really want to go over this one topic that a lot of you guys ask almost on every video, and that's Payne. Hey, how do I take advantage of these supporter codes? What do I do? Can you walk me through it? So I'm going to give you guys a little bit of a guide before we go into the main topic of SLA. So this is my missions. My missions are pretty much things that Netmarble asked me to do, videos I need to create for you guys, and then these are the codes that I give out. You guys can see here I've now given out the next round of codes to all 7,000 supporters. Now, any old supporter of mine, you've already got these codes. I'm going to show you guys, if you haven't used them, how to use them. If you have used them, you can't use them again. If you've used these codes from any other content creator, my codes are meaningless, as are theirs, because you've already done it. It's one per account and only one per account. Doesn't matter who you get it from. Okay, so first thing you're going to do, guys, is I'm going to walk you guys through on how to do this. I'm going to log out of my account. I'm going to log into another account. Okay, and I'm going to walk you guys step by step on how to get this done. So first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to bring this over to my side. So what you're going to do is on that Netmarble page, you're going to log into your own account. I'm going to go ahead and log into one of my friends' accounts. I'm going to show you guys how to do this step by step, also in terms of how to change your actual NID as well. So very, very important. Pay attention to this. Okay, so first off, how to link your game. All right, this is important. You guys can see first off right over here under the supporter tab, or I'm gonna go a little bit lower here. Okay, you guys can see when you go and log into the game under the supporter tab. Shout out to Travis for letting me do this. You guys can see here where you rank, right? Right below that, there are some codes right there. Okay, these are the codes. You guys can see when these codes were given to you, date received, and when the codes are valid. So if you take this code, for example, right, you copy it, you go into your game, and then you can paste it in the code redemption section. Now, if you are an iOS player, this is important. You cannot paste it here. You have to go into the forums. So I'm going to show you guys real quick where the forums are. Right over here, there's a section right here called Enter Redeem Code. You would put the code in this section, right? And then you put in your PID, which is your same thing as your NID, okay? So that's where you go to do that. Very important to note that if you don't know where your NID is, it's linked to your account. I'm not going to scroll up because this is Travis's account. Then you'll see his NID. You can find it in game or you can find it in here. So that's how you do it. In order to change your NID, all you got to do is go back to the same supporter page. There's an account management section. You go into that, you can change your NID. It should let you change your account name, and then you'll have your name set as whatever you decide to put it on. I've got a person who follows me named Poop Fart. That's right. So if Poop Fart can do it, I'm sure the rest of you guys can do. Shout out to Poop Fart. He's like, top 3,000-4,000, but I see his name all the time and I always laugh to myself. So there you guys go. That's how you take advantage of your code. Remember, these codes, if you're saying this code doesn't work for you, it's because of one of two things. Number one, you've already used it from somebody else or another content creator. Or number two, you've already done it once and you're mistaking it, or you're using an older code. Some people have codes. If you're not using these codes, sometimes you'll have hundreds of codes, not hundreds, but like 10 or 15 of them underneath your account saying, they're expired. So make sure you check the expiry date and see which ones you want to use. So I want to go through that before I went through anything else, because I know a lot of people have been asking me, Payne, how do you do this? How do you take advantage of the supporter codes? Remember, all you got to do to support me, guys, is go to the supporter page. It's in every single description at the top of every video. Click on that supporter tab, click on support, and you'll be able to support me. Now, there are some limitations to that because it's region locked. So some people in the UK, for example, cannot support me. I don't know what it is with the UK. They won't allow you to support a content creator not within the UK. Everywhere else, fairly good chance you can support me, so go please do that. Get your codes. Remember, if you plan to spend and you support me, I make some money off of that, which is great. It doesn't cost you anything. You don't get penalized for it. And then of course, you go up the rankings, you get a shout out, etc. Right? So again, shout out to my top 10. Lucci, all of you NIDs, 0, Mega Cartel right now, top 20, top 30, top 40. I can go through all those. The only reason why I haven't gone through those, if you are in that, let me know. They do show your points, and your points are kind of linked to how much you've spent. So for example, Travis total has spent 722,000. 792,000. He's ranked 15 currently right now, and he is killing it. So shout out to you, Travis. Thank you for supporting me as always. So I just wanted to show you guys how that worked. Okay, so let's talk a little bit about something that everyone has been asking me about, and I want to give you my honest opinion. Would I rate SLA as Game of the Year for gachas? Now, this has been a very, very interesting topic because I have gone out publicly on my platform many, many times to say this has been my favorite gacha of all time, even beating out one of my past favorite gachas, which was Epic 7, which I adored and I consider the best gacha of all time. Now, this is interesting because my own bias towards this game, because it's my personal favorite game, doesn't make it right. So I'm gonna be a little more technical and more appropriate about the assessment here. Does SLA deserve to win Game of the Year? Now, if you guys look back, currently it has won the Korean Game of the Year, which is obviously the biggest news for him because it's a Korean developer. It is made by a Korean team. That Marvel is a Korean company, so I think to them that really mattered the most, right? And I think going forward, that's what they're going to strive for. The new title that it's being reviewed on is for the new game awards that are coming out in December, which I think is more of a global platform. And I'm not sure what it's being nominated for. I don't think it's being nominated for Gacha of the Year, but if it is, I do want to give a little bit of my takeaway on this. I hope it wins. So in the Google so it won the Korean Game Awards on Google. This was crazy to me. It won the best story. What? It lost the AFK Journey for Gacha of the Year or Game of the Year on the mobile platform, which I thought was absolutely crazy because as much as I liked AFK Journey, I got super bored of it super fast. AFK Journey was very, very free to play friendly. I will give it that. And it was actually a very good game. Not to take anything away from those developers and what they've done and what they were able to do with that genre and completely convert it into more of a MMO adventure feel. But it just, honestly, you put them side by side, it doesn't hold a stick to SLA, and that's my opinion. So for Google platform, and as a matter of fact, even for iOS, I think it should have won Game of the Year. As a matter of fact, I'm surprised that AFK Journey beat out Wuwa and Zenless Zone Zero and this game, as a matter of fact, for Game of the Year. It actually blew my mind that those games were not a cut above, because if I were to compare this game to anything, it probably would be Wuthering Waves, to be honest with you. And when it comes down to at least, for the Game of the Year title, so that was a shock, to be honest with you, to lose out to AFK Journey, which again is a great game on its own right, but I don't think anywhere near the same platform. Now, for this new Game Awards, if SLA is nominated for Game of the Year, does it deserve to win? I'll be honest with you guys. I think it deserves to win a lot of accolades, but I don't think Game of the Year. And I hate to say this because it's my favorite game ever, but there have just been too many problems that can't be overlooked, right? For me, when you look at Game of the Year, it's not just the content, the developers, the friendliness of Gacha. It's not just about what they're able to do on this platform, mobile gaming, which we're going to come down to in one of the biggest gripes, but also the fact that you have to be able to, when you release a game worldwide, globally, you need to be able to adhere to a lot of different things and to be able to manage your platform in a better fashion. I think this is where SLA fell short. And I'll be real with you guys. Now, of course, I wanted to win because two reasons. Number one, my favorite game, being biased. Number two, the fact that I'm obviously going to be wanting the rewards that come with that win, right? Whenever they win anything big, we get a lucrative amount of rewards. I mean, last time we got an SSR selector, we got a free character, I think, we got an obscene amount of Essence Stones, etc. Like the dev team in this game are a cut above the rest. They really, really do look out for the community. And honestly, it's not, as much as it's weird to say this, it hasn't been all about the money, because to them, yes, they are all about the money clearly at the end of the day, but they do it in a fashion where it makes it look like they care about what their community feels and looks like, right? So in that regard, they're a cut above most games. Where the problem lies, and it still continues to lie, is when you have games like Wuthering Waves, Zenless Zone Zero, and other games like that are very similar in style, fashion. Punishing Grey Raven, another one that's a Kuro game. When you have games like that which exist already and are already, optimizing their mobile play, and have been for such a long time and never really had any issue with optimization with mobile, you cannot fall behind on that, right? Yes, majority of players are going to be mobile players, even though there's a big handful of them that are currently PC players. Now, if you wanted it to be primarily PC players, then you should have released the Steam version at the same time, right? And that, I think, would have made a massive difference in the player base staying or growing. Now, Steam is coming out as this console, so that, of course, will change things quite a bit, and we'll have less and less mobile players playing this, I think, than we have ever had. But right now, as it stands, if you're going to make it a mobile game, your optimization needs to be way better. And the truth is, unfortunately, the optimization for this game is not good enough for it to be considered Game of the Year. I think that's problem number one. Problem number two, of course, is the thing we've been talking about quite a bit lately, and that is the banning of players and the anti-cheat system. Okay, so I don't know if you guys know this, but there have been many players that are being unbanned. There have been. many players are being unbanned, but unfortunately with that unbanning came with the cheaters as well. So I don't think they realized who was cheating and who was not, because the system automatically picked it up, and what they're probably doing is going back and being like, okay, system, you picked up this many people, let this many people go back. And unfortunately what's happening is there are cheaters now coming back into POD, coming back into BOT, etc., and coming through and getting obscene points that they should never be getting. So because of that anti-cheat system, I think that is another big flaw with this game that they absolutely need to fix. Now, I'm not saying these are good enough reasons for it not to be game of the year, but I think they're good enough reasons to overlook it. Okay? From a gameplay perspective, from a free-to-play friendly perspective, from a graphical perspective, from the amount of sheer content they've released in the 6 months this game has been out, this game, again, is a cut above the rest. There's no game that really has released this much good content, this much free-to-play content and pay-to-win content, and has made, you know, their community as happy as this game. Like, you look at any other game that's come out, you probably see a lot of complaints over certain things. You'll see a lot of complaints over like lack of content, or, you know, the characters, or etc., etc., etc. People are sitting around doing nothing. This has never been the case for SLA. Biggest issues with SLA have always been revolving around two things: optimization of mobile and some bugs. They've pretty much fixed the majority of them, and some bugs that are coming out now are a little unfortunate, but they're not major big deals. But the banning now has become a major big deal, as has the optimization. So that's why I think if SLA were not to win, and I personally wouldn't want, like, if you look at it again, right, depending who they're competing against, and that's a big deal, depending who they're competing against, if it's against other big titles who have had better optimization and who have had better overall systems in check for security, you can't overlook that, right? When it comes down to gameplay, I don't think there's anything better than SLA. Game of the year, for sure, 1000%. But if you look at the whole picture, I think those two things are going to be the main reason why, if it does lose, or if it doesn't even get nominated, it will lose for Game of the Year because of those reasons. But it definitely does deserve to be in the nominations for Gacha Game of the Year, or Mobile Game of the Year in general. Hell, even Game of the Year period, in my opinion. And definitely deserves the accolade it gets, but it definitely has some work to do to be a full package game. All right, guys, let me know what you think, what your thoughts are on this. Again, I really do hope we win. I really do hope, because again, the prizes that come with the wins are always massive. And I'm curious to know what you guys think. If you guys agree with my input, and if you guys have your own, let me know in the comment sections. Again, thank you so much for watching, guys. I'll see you guys in the next video. Take care.